You know, we've got to stop meeting like this in the middle of the night because I just finished the book and I don't want to wait till morning. I might forget a few key factors or I might lose. So I didn't want to wait. I was so excited to finish the book and I've been doing a little bit of a binge read again. So I just wanted to get to it right away. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music. The title of my video is the title of the book. I'm not very imaginative like that. I'm talking about the book, so that's the title of my book. So are you ready for some Whiplash? Book 14 in the Catherine Coulter's FBI series featuring Sherlock and Savich. And this is another one where there are two cases in this story and they do not intertwine. A couple of books ago, there were several different plot lines and they all meshed. They all came together. This is a plot line that stays completely separate. And it deals with some evil, evil, evil people. And I'm sure there are millions of people out there that are taking medications and maybe they're taking the generic form of said medication, or maybe their copyright or whatever thing has expired and the medicine has become affordable and people are on it. And it's one of those medicines that you have to stay on. And what happens if, I don't know, the plant breaks down or catches fire or has a catastrophe and you've got to take a new drug? However, the new drug is like $10,000, but you need it to live. So you're selling your house and mortgaging your entire life to buy the new drug because the cheaper one that was like $10 or $15 can't be made because the plant was destroyed. Well, that's what happens in Whiplash. There is this evil company these evil people in this company that decide to sabotage their own product. Never be in the middle of a sentence and sneeze. Jesus Christ. I gotta sneeze. So, some of the people in the company that makes the cheaper, more affordable drug are signed a contract with the evil thing that they would sabotage their own company and the evil company would give them millions and millions of dollars as rewards for sabotaging their own companies, and they could go to a foreign island or foreign country and live comfortably for the rest of their lives. Only someone hires a private investigator, says, look, this is the situation. Please try and discover what's going on. She breaks into this guy's house. She gets his documents off his computer, the outline, the whole plan. But in the meantime, there's somebody else in town who is also investigating the same people, and he gets killed the same night that she does the break-in. And that's the only reason that the break-in was even mentioned. It wasn't going to be mentioned because the people didn't realize that anything had been taken, and they were guilty of this crime, and they didn't want anybody knowing they were guilty of this crime, so they weren't going to say anything about it. But of course, when the dead body was found, they didn't call the police. Someone else called the police, and then that brought the police in and said, investigated the break-in too and the murder and was wondering how the two things were connected. And the guy that's house was broken into is head of a company in the US, and it has connections in other countries in the world. And he starts to stress a little bit. And there are some things going on. People want to know what's going on with the company, why are these incidents happening with the company, and he is not really giving them any answers. He's avoiding all questions. Then the superiors from Europe come to this country, and they too want to know what's going on. And the head guy here gets kind of antsy. He wants to run. And there's a subplot under it. Somebody else is doing something against this guy, and they decide to take advantage of this whole situation to eliminate this guy, and they make it look like this inner little circle is making a subplot against this guy named Royal. He's supposed to be the head of the company. So he's getting pressure from the outside and from his bosses to explain what's going on. And then there's this little inner circle that is also making plans against him too, but he doesn't know about the inner circle. He has no clue about the inner circle that's trying to do stuff about him. And they take advantage of the situation and they do stuff. So that's a little twisty-turny in there that you don't really see coming. Then we have the second case where this senator believes that someone is haunting him or trying to go insane. They've been doing this stuff outside his place, ghosts and sheets and stuff like that. And Sherlock and Savich buy into it a little bit because, Savich has this little psychic thing going, and he tries to contact this guy's wife, who this guy believes his wife is trying to contact him and warn him about danger. And so Sherlock and Savich are investigating the attempts on his life, on the senator's life. And Bowie, the field agent, and Aaron, our little private detective break-in person, is Bowie's daughter's ballet teacher. And Bowie is desperate because his nanny parent or relative is sick and she went out of town. His temporary girlfriend is out of town and he really doesn't want to leave his kid with there. And he knows he can trust the ballet teacher, so he brings his kid to the ballet teacher, who he doesn't know is also the private investigator, who also doesn't know that she was the one that did the break-in at the pharmaceutical office. He doesn't know all this, and she's in an internal state of panic. What the F is going on here? And the people make attempts, when people start making connections and following the dots, they try to kill her. And then she has to, because she won't, Sherlock is suspecting some stuff because they get to know her too. And Sherlock is like, I know there's something going on with you, fess up. And she avoids the question for a couple of days, but then when they attempt her life, she has to kind of fess up a little bit. But then we also have Savich dealing with the senator and the attempts on senator's life. And apparently the senator goes to this restaurant every single week and orders the exact same thing. But this week, for the first time in, let's say, up to 10 years, he orders something different. And his order goes to his date, and his date dies of arsenic poisoning. And you're like, oh, it was meant for him, and he recommended the dish to her, and he said how great it was, and she said how tasty it was, and then she dies in the middle of it, and everybody's looking at, this was supposed to be an attempt on the second attempt on the senator's life, and he lived through it again, and someone else has died, because he encouraged this woman to get his food instead. And I wanted to show you the list of characters here. And there's a lot of recurring characters, but if you've read the books in order, then you know Ollie, you know Dane, you know Ruth Warnecki, you know Maitland, you know all the FBI people involved, and she doesn't waste time on introductions of these agents because you know them. They've been in all the books. I know some authors who will take the time to introduce everybody, and one of my authors, and I will forever buy her books, but she could take an entire 2-3 pages talking about somebody's appearance. Sometimes it gets a little old. Sometimes you're like, next page. Oh, those are the 2 cases And like I said, the pharmaceutical case has a two sub cases. So the pharmaceutical case is like 3 cases. One they're doing to the public, and the 2 cases involving the CEO of the pharmaceutical, the US CEO. Who knows that everybody wants to kill him for different reasons. And some of it you see coming, some of it you don't. But poor Erin has to fess up to Bowie, which she's been up to. And then, of course, the senators thing, and they question all the people. I don't like the senators' boys. They're very, one boy is very spoiled, rotten. His trust fund has been cut off till he's 50, and he's really ticked off at that. He feels very entitled and very privileged, and that just pisses me off. And the other son is a little more well-balanced and down-to-earth and kind of normal situation, but the other one is really spoiled. So, who's trying to kill the senator? Because there are several attempts made on the senator's life, and he's not the one that dies. Other people are victim. So, there's something going on there. And then, of course, you have and then you also have a little bit of romance. There's they really don't even, I think there's one kiss, and that's it in the whole book between Bowie and Erin. And we see the ex-girlfriend or whatever, like very briefly. There's no resolution there, so the story going. This book only takes place within like a week or so, less than a week. But those are your 2 major plots. Who's trying to kill the senator and why? And then what's up with the pharmaceutical company, and who's tampering with their plants and manufacturing, and is there more evil inside the company? Is there evil outside the company? Is the people sabotaging the company inside the company and outside the company? Well, you have to all read it to find out. And if you please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I just want people to know I exist. Like I said, Whiplash. Title of the video because it's the title of the book and it's what I'm talking about. I'm not inventive. I'm not creative like that. I'm talking about the book. So my title's going to be about the book. Let's talk Whiplash. Have a good one. Oh, wait, I forgot. Please join me for Split Second in a couple days. The next book in this series. Have a good one.